Hello everybody, Ethan or Mozzarella Steaks from the Combo Masters TCG YouTube channel here. And before we begin, I would just like to propose a question to you all. Which one of these cards do you think is foil? Comment down below. First, second, or third. I'll reveal it at the end of the video. So, just a quick note before we begin is that my cards, some of them are sleeved differently. Some of them aren't sleeved, some of them have the white sleeves and clear sleeves. And that's just because of the way that I collect my cards. And I didn't want to have to change all the sleeves and then rechange them back for a video. So I do apologize for that, but I hope you will all be understanding, especially because the front of the card is what matters most in this scenario. So let's begin. We'll go in ascending order of rarity. So starting off, we have Spaghetti Tornado, which I think looks excellent foil. Fun fact, even though it's a common, I never pulled one of these from all the packs I opened. It's one of, if not the only common that I never got, surprisingly. I had to order it when I ordered the rest of the cards that I was missing to complete my binder. Here is Gummy Worm. I did choose all these cards because I wanted to see what they would look like foiled. I think this one looks pretty cool too. The background, the card itself, kind of has a foil mimicky effect to begin with when Cam drew it. So I think that it looks very good foiled. Of course, I had to do Sad Doggo, my dog. I think that while it doesn't look the greatest foiled, I still am pretty happy with how it turned out. Cyborg Bat, not my favorite. The darker spots on the card don't really get too much of the foil effect, and it just doesn't look the greatest foiled in my opinion, especially because the background isn't very contrasting. That seems to be what makes a very good foil card, in my opinion at least, is like a nice contrasting background. Potato Vigilante, another one, but I think that it actually does look really good foiled with the, especially with that background, all the dots and things. It's another card that I feel was just made to be foil, you know? Next up is the fan favorite Honey Bear, which is another one of my favorites, but because Honey Bear himself does not get as much of the foil effect as the background does, so it looks really nice, I think. And Honey Bear is one of my favorite cards in general, so definitely a little biased there, I guess. Neo Smile Guy, interesting. I'm not the biggest fan of his art to begin with, but he definitely looks interesting foil. There's a lot of bear foil on his card, because of all the white spots in his art. Knife Sword, looking pretty epic. But once again, he looked really good before it was foiled, I think, at least. The Boy, Super Spud, another really nice one. King Blob almost comes out a little like goldeny. Oh, dog hair on the card. That's not great. But yeah, I'm just not the biggest fan, personally, of how the little, like, shiny part came out on the shield there. It almost looks like it got, like, scratched off or, like, was a printing defect. But, hey, you know, that's why I feel like it's important to design cards to be, like with the intention of being foiled if you want like foil cards. That's why I ordered these, so I would know more about how they come out in different styles and stuff. Gargantuan Worm, pretty decent, I think. Blue Flame Punch. I think that the background looks really interesting. Like, I don't even know what's up with that. It looks really weird, but epic. The art, though, it's alright, you know? Next, we have another card like Gummy Worm that has a bit of that rainbowy effect, and that is Rainbow Arrow. Ghost Magician. Interesting, but I feel like the background doesn't contrast enough to make it look really good. I think the hat looks the best out of anything on the card, which a little disappointing, but it is what it is, right? Here lies Mozz. Pretty interesting, I think. Not great, but not terrible either. Meteor. Once again, probably my least favorite out of all the foil cards, but I got it because it's one of the alt arts and I wanted to see how they looked. Same with Knife Toss. Doesn't look great foiled. You can't really tell as much. And we're going to be saving the last one for when I reveal which one of these cards was foiled. But before that, I would like to address a few concerns that I've seen. So, one is the dark spots on the cards, like the black, can apparently scratch off. And so that is obviously an issue. So if you do get it, as in the foil cards, I would be a little bit wary of that. There's other people who are more knowledgeable on the subject than I am, for sure. But that is definitely something to look out for, and I would definitely sleeve your cards if you do get them. I have some ultra-thin sleeves on here. The drift was pretty terrible. But I have some ultra-thin sleeves on here, so the foil effect still shows through, because with my thicker sleeves, they just didn't show up as great, you know. The other thing is text readability, specifically, like, this isn't bad. It does look worse on the camera than it does in real life, which is a little bit disappointing, of course. But there are some cards, like this, that has, like, a lighter text box, where there would be a little bit of concern for readability. Though these aren't really for play, these were just something that I wanted personally for my own Combo Masters collection. And if we do any cards that are foil for any releases of any sort, or like a promo card for like a tournament winner or whatever, it'll of course have that in mind, to have like a darker text box so it's more readable. But it does look less readable on the camera than it does in real life. The foil effect is kind of hard to capture on the camera just in general. And so, with that, I think that it is time to reveal the winner. Any final guesses? The middle card was not foil. The left card was also not foil. So, if you guessed the card on the right, then you would be correct. That is the foil. And it is Honey Bear alternate art, which once again, I think came out pretty nice with the background and stuff like that. Very contrasting. Looks very, very cool. Very happy with how this came out because it's one of my favorite cards in the entire game. It's simultaneously Honey Bear and, you know, a rare alternate art. Though I never actually pulled the real one from a pack, that's why it's in the white sleeves. So that's a bit unfortunate. I hope that maybe I can get one of them in the future. But the card backs on these are so similar that you legitimately cannot tell the difference. Like, it's not any lighter or any darker or anything. There was a little bit of concern that maybe it was like rougher edges on the cards, which some of them do have rougher edges. So that's why I specifically chose the one that had the least amount of drift and the least bad of edges. Just so that wouldn't be a dead giveaway. But if you did guess the card, then write down in the comments below that you got it correct. And yeah, dudes, thank you for watching, and combo on.